Yo, what is up, guys? This is Defy, and this is my round 4 of ARL here at Hungary. These are the results from Monza. I got P6, and these are the driver standings. I'm currently sitting P11 after not having the most luck in 2 of the 3 races. We're going to start our first flying lap here at the Hungaroring. Open up the corner by taking a wide line to get the biggest possible exit. Opening the DRS, and coming into this round, I felt like I had a decent amount of pace compared to the other drivers. Coming into turn 1, you brake just before the curb or right when the racing line turns red. Try and get it as early on the power as possible to maximize the exit. This is my second run of the short quali session. As my first run, I spun going around the last corner, and this will be my only qualifying run. As my last run, I kind of sabotaged it. Purple sector 1 there, 5/10 ahead of P9 right now, so a good lap, almost dead even on my delta, but it will go up at the very end. Drizzle says a 16-1, one of the best people in this league. He is a past world champion, I'm pretty sure. As through that corner we get a decent exit, we gain almost a 10th of lap time, which is amazing. It's a 54-1, PB being a 53-9. My PB in qualifying was a 15-4, but I'm not going to get that here, especially because it's the second lap. So we're going to come around the final corner 3/10 up, but this time we don't spin, so we're going to gain loads of lap time, as you can see. And it's going to be a 1:15.827, which puts us pole position. And yeah, that was our last qualifying lap, as you can see. We're going on the standings now. We did get pole ending up because I don't think Drizzle or anybody improved. Our teammate though getting P3, which is amazing. We got pole by a decent amount, which I was super happy with. But now we will be going on to the race strategy. I was probably going hard medium. One of the only people who did that, as you can see by race director, besides Lewis and P7. We're going to underload fuel because I wanted to try. As we're coming to the end of the formation lap here, about to park, getting the tires hopefully that little more up to temperature. We're going to park. It wasn't the best parking, I have to admit. It was 0.7. I think I could have gone closer. And everyone around me was on medium tires, so the start is one of the most important parts. And lights out, and away we go. I get one of my worst race starts ever. Everyone around me is flying past. I'm up into P5 momentarily. I try to go around the outside. My teammate is ghosting, but that was glitch, and I actually, on his screen, almost made him flip. But my teammate, luckily, no damage, neither with me because it was lag. As the Alpine, I thought I would spin him there because my game, I got touched a little, got pushed wide, and now I'm down into P8, almost P7, but they kind of take each other out. And as you can see, the AlphaTauri here is, I think he spins around, yes he does, which, I almost hit him, which wouldn't have been good. I'm currently behind Yetsu, a Red Bull driver. He's in tier 4, I think he moved up to tier 3 last race, and after he told me, after a decent performance, he's going to tier 2, which is amazing. I think in around a week and a half, he went from tier 4 to tier 2. He reserved for this race because we didn't have enough drivers. I was going to try and overtake him because I know my pace is a lot faster, even on those hard tires, because he is a low tier driver, but I was still getting the tires up to temperature, and I was not used to the hards after being on quali laps with little to no fuel and on fresh softs, so I was not used to the lower grip and heavier car. Here, as we come on to the end of lap 3, DRS has been enabled. We are gaining and gaining on Yetsu, so we may try and go for a move as he gets a little wobbly and goes wide. We're going to go for the move in the last quarter, but still brake early to get DRS. We do get DRS, and we're going to get the move done being on the outside line, so that will give us a lot more grip and stability. We're going to use a bit of ERS to try and get into the DRS of the 2 cars ahead, but because they are battling hard. We end up getting DRS because it's a double detection zone, So we still got it from Yetsu, even though we were behind. But the two cars ahead are hard battling, and we are going to get into their DRS and hopefully a slipstream. And we're going to have to try and get past as fast as possible. As you can see, sending the purple first sector of the race. But that was not where the hards come to like start losing out on the mediums. It was sector 2 and sector 3 where the mediums are just so much faster. I was running a lot lower wings than everyone else. You could tell by my quality lap it was a lot faster in first sector than anyone else. Like I think 3 or 4 tenths. So yeah, I was running low wings. As you can see, I get a warning here, and I'm gonna not send the move. I lift a little so I don't hit him, because I just didn't. I wanted to play it safe at this point. There's so many laps in the race, nothing can happen, and I wanted to get DRS. We're gonna hopefully go get a move done here. That's what I was thinking, because we need to come back. As you can see, our teammate is already up into P8 after having an incident with me, but that was lag, and I couldn't tell, which is great for him. The mic is not on this race for me or him because I was listening to Spotify, so I already got copyrighted. That should be fixed in the next round though, which would be amazing, because then we don't have to just listen to blankness, because this is one of the best team play races I've ever had. You will see later in the race. This is a lap 5. I think we'll be moving on here soon. Yep, as we come on to lap 10, nothing really changed, except our teammate is behind us. Where Drizzle, the race leader, spun through the fast section. He's one of our rivals in this race. As we get a moment on the exit of, I don't even know the turn number. Our teammate is within a 5/10 gap. We won't hold him up as he can kind of carry us along to Drizzle, which would be great. And he's gonna get 2 DRS zones. He's not close enough though, as I run super low wings at this track, and instead of what most people ran, which is high wings like 50 and like 40. I ran super low, 42 on the fronts and 34 on the rears. I'm pretty sure, maybe lower than that. My DRS is pretty high. It's like 95 after draining it down the first lap. Our teammate might have gone for a move there, but he didn't feel like he should. And as one of the AlphaTauris spins it through the little hairpin corner, so now 10 seconds behind, but didn't lose any positions. On the straight here, my teammate, I will be letting him through. Actually, no, right here, because he will get DRS. I brake early, don't try and defend him. He lags on my screen a little. I was having terrible lag issues this whole entire race. Don't know why. This is the first time it's ever been this bad. Yeah, as we come around the final corner, just gonna try and stay in his DRS, not gonna go behind him. As 2 Magnus, one of the Ferraris, goes pretty early, as that wouldn't be early for another track, but there's 35 laps, so 15 would be pretty early, but hards can go till the end. They can go around 30 laps, and you will see that later in the race. I am just trying to stay behind our teammate here and just keep close to him, because he will pull me along to Drizzle, who I really want to be close to, because as I'm on mediums, my pace will be faster, which will hopefully be able to get me ahead of him. So I'm trying to minimize my medium stints, struggling as much as possible. As we're going to come into the chicane, there's a yellow flag up ahead in sector 3, but that doesn't permit to us. I think that was a lapped car almost. Connor has almost hit him, as the safety guard has been deployed. Both the Alpines spun within the course of a minute or two. This is terrible for us. We're the first hard runner out of 2, and I don't want to pit because I want to keep my track position. Everyone is going to pit. This is a perfect safety car for the medium runners. So yes, basically everyone's going to come into the pits. I think I barely get out ahead of Connor, which will put me in the net race lead, or not net race lead because I haven't pitted yet, but it'll put me in the race lead provisionally. I stay out. I should have probably pitted looking back on this, but I was hoping for a late safety car, and in this league there's lots of safety cars for my past races, But as you can see, that is Connor coming out of the pits. And yeah, now I think we're going to move on to lap 16 or 17 when the safety guard comes in here. Because I don't... Yeah, as you can see, Connor's caught up now. The whole pack is catching up. Nothing, and yeah, as we come on to lap 15, safety car is in this lap. We are leading, trying to get our tires that last bit of temperature, and trying to hopefully catch Connor off guard to get the best restart we can. He's going to try and go on our outside. Super confused about that. But as we were going to try and get a good... we got probably one of my worst restarts I've ever done leading a race. They had more grip, even though their hards were only like 30% better. That is a pretty decent amount. As Drizzle makes the move to come into P3, Drizzle is also going to try and go for a move on Connor. But they're battling side by side still. And the two probably GOATs, except GOATs of this league. Connor, not really. There was another Connor who had 2 championships. But as Connor and Drizzle make contact, they are both off the track. The two main race rivals for me here had binned, which is good for me. I'm going to try and stay out of the DRS, but I don't think that's going to happen, as Matt Mod is on fresher tires. Even though I have better pace, it just won't be enough. And I'm just trying to push, but also save tires. I kind of have to be smart here, because I need to last as long as I can on these hards to try and go for a safety car, but if that doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. This corner was giving me tons of struggles this whole race, just getting the grip down on exit, getting the throttle down, which is probably the last 2 corners in sector 3 were probably where I lost the most time on my lap. As we skip here into lap 19, you can see Matt Mod is super close behind me, and I'm trying to give this toe to my teammate to see if he can do anything. But Matt Mod is just following closely and closely. And I'm just going to try and do a Sergio Perez here and defend like an absolute mastermind. We're going to brake pretty late. Not late enough, though. And he's going to go for a switchback. He will not be able to make it stick, though. As my teammate comes into the mix, they are going side by side. For a second there, it looked like he passed them, but my lag was just so bad this race. We're coming to the end of Sector 1 now. It's me, Defy, then Matt, then Seb, then Aiden, and then I think Louis or something. I'm not going to try and pronounce that. Drizzle sets the fast lap of the race. He and Connor, my 2 rivals, crash each other out. You can see them on the back there of the map. They are on fresh softs, as I recall. You can see here Matt is getting extremely close, but then he spins. So now, me and my teammate, even though I haven't pitted, have a 3.3 second gap to anyone, and we're chilling P1, P2. This could be a great race for McLaren. In the past, McLaren, in Season 3 of this league, it's Season 4, McLaren was the worst team probably in Tier 1, and we are now in a 1-2 position, but I don't know if this will stick to the end of the race. I don't think I'm going to defend here, as my teammate will be getting DRS on me, and there's no point defending because it will sabotage both of our race. So I'm going to leave him the space. This is giving me flashbacks from earlier in the race where I let him through. Aiden now is our biggest competitor, 2.2 seconds behind. I let him ahead to try and pull me along, because we can't have Aiden get on the DRS. This was one of the biggest strategy calls of the whole entire race. Because since he was ahead, he could pull me along. I wasn't battling with him at all. I was just going to let him carry me along and try and... And the second I got out of the DRS, I would keep on asking him to stay, let me stay in the DRS. As you can see, Aiden is now right on the verge of getting DRS. I don't think he got it that time, as I gained on the straight. But it's 9.8 seconds. Now it's... 9.8 tenths. Now it's 1 second. It's just hovering back and forth. But eventually, he will get it, as the tires are just not well at this point. I think they're over 40%. The gap is still 9.8 tenths. It's so close. I'm going to try and get it. But as I get wheel spinning on that corner, may have used a little bit of grass. It's down to 8 tenths. meaning he will get DRS probably this lap. I asked my teammate to slow down, and you can see him lift there so I could get the DRS. This was one of the most important parts of the race for me and my teammate. I needed him to carry me along, so until the last moment, and then he would get out of my DRS, and I would defend from Aryton. I'm gonna have the DRS here, and I'm gonna defend. It's almost the exact same gap of around 6/10 between me and Seb, but Seb gets an amazing exit, I get a poor exit, Aryton gets an okay exit. I'm draining my battery here, trying to just maximize the gap, trying to hold on as much as I can so my teammate can hopefully stay ahead, because soon I'm just gonna let Seb go, not ask for DRS, and then Aryton will attack, but I will defend for my life, basically. I wish you guys could hear this audio, because I was just communicating with him very well, but I had my music on in the background, which, of course, copyright, which is one of the worst things that happened, because this is probably some of the best communication I've ever had for the teammate. This is my first race with Seb is my teammate, and we picked him out one of the best drivers in the league. And yeah, the gap is now 9.7 I'm thinking I could break DRS, and I might one more lap. I'm trying to push my battery, because if I break DRS, there may be a chance that I can still hang on. As the gap is now 1.07 seconds, it's 1.1 seconds. Is he gonna get it? As we're coming across the line, he does not get it. The detection zone, he does not get it. So I will gain another probably 3/10 here, depending on how he pushes his energy, or if he does or doesn't. As you can see coming in the first turn, it's 1.3 and we have another DRS zone since this is double. So that was probably a big turning point in the race, because it probably let Seb hang on for another 2-3 laps. The gap now to Aryton, 1.5 seconds. I think we may be able to hang on for one more lap. 1.7. I think he had a little bit of a moment through that corner, because he lost around 3/10. As you can see, I was lagging very badly through this whole entire race, it just wasn't a good day for me and lag. As you can see, the gap is 1.6 seconds, which is basically means unless he gains an absolute massive amount in the sector, then he won't be getting DRS, and that will save my teammate for another 1 or 2 laps. But coming out of this corner, I get wheel spin as I use too much of the curb. I get hooked on. I'm draining my battery. I ask my teammate to slow down here, and he does. But the gap is barely over a second, and it's 1.02 or 1.5 seconds, 1.1 seconds now. Is he gonna get the DRS? I don't think he did. I think it was 0.02 of a second coming across the detection line. So we're gonna push one more lap to stay out of the DRS. Coming into the first corner, as you can see, my tires are now at over 60% wear. You can see in the bottom right corner on the MFD, the little yellow tire wear symbol. That means we are over 60% on tire wear. So our tires have fallen off. Their tires are around 30 if they're not pushing, or probably 20 or 25 around there, because they've only been on them for 11 full laps. I end up getting a penalty there as I go wide, and I was trying to avoid getting a warning by going more wide, because this game is kind of weird on how penalties works. If you go more wide, there's less risk of you to get a penalty. Don't know how it works, but it does. As Aryton also got a 3-second penalty at the exact same time. Literally the exact same corner, a 3-second penalty popped up for both of us. I'm going to ask my teammate, I think, one more time to let me have his DRS, or I'm just going to let him go ahead. I think he either lifted or I got it there. Either or, this is probably the last lap we're going to be in the DRS, and then we're going to let our teammate push and basically do a Perez at Abu Dhabi 21. As you can see, Seb's DRS window to me is very high in the 9/10 range, now very high in the 8/10 range. Might go down to 7/10 for a minute, but I got a terrible exit. As you can see, Aryton is so close behind to me, and as this lap 27 of the race, we are just going to keep on driving as clean as possible. The tires are going to lose a ton of grip in these next 3 laps, depending on when I pit. The gap now to Aryton's 3/10. It was 3.8 seconds when I let Seb come past. He's not going to go for a move here because he can't. But now I'm going to let Seb go, and I'm just going to defend with my life here. Coming through the fast section, just, keeping it clean. That's what I always do. Drizzle sets the fastest lap again with an 18.4. I think he had to pit again off the softs. Now this is going to be one of the biggest and most important parts of the race. If the gap is 1.7 seconds, then I'm going to hold up Aryton like a madman, basically. I'm going to drain my battery out of this corner, try not to give him slipstream so he can't make the move. I also have faster or lower wings, so I have a bigger straight line speed advantage. I'm going to go to the inside, defend, use the curb, which was not smart probably because that may have allowed him to get a switchback. He will not be able to. I'm going to the inside again, trying to slow him down as much as I can. The gap at the start of lap 28 was around 1.6 seconds. It's now almost 2. It's 2 seconds now, which is just, I'm doing a team play here. I'm throwing away my race to let my teammate get the win, basically. It's 2.1 seconds and counting. The reason I'm doing this is because since Aryton is much faster, if I hold him back and let Seb get a lead, then there's a less chance that Aryton can catch up through this section. Aryton on the faster tires still, coming through the really fast corner where I got oversteer a couple laps ago. I'm going to be very patient here. .7 seconds is the gap to Seb. For me, it's lap 28, 7 more laps, and I've been in these tires the whole entire race. I think I will box this lap after, because I don't think I can defend much longer with low battery, but I'm about to do one of the most important events of the race. I lost Aryton 1.2 seconds. I gained Seb 1.2 seconds on Aryton, which is a big turning point of the race. The gap is now 3.4 seconds. I've been pushing to not let Aryton through, because that would ruin Seb's and my race. I set the soft tires in my MFD, and I'm definitely going to box lap. I'm going to hold him back even more. 2 laps ago, the gap was only 1.7 seconds. He's lost 2.3 seconds. 2.4. It's going to get to 2.5. And then maybe in 2.6. The dirty air through this sector just is crucial. Is crucial to make him stay behind. Dirty air is a very big part of this track. If you're in dirty air, you're slow. If you're in clean air, you're fast. That's basically how it works. But as we're going to come into the pits, the gap is going to be 4.4 seconds. I've gave my teammate a 3.7 second advantage, which hopefully should help him keep the lead of the race. We're going to pit to our fresh softs. Our tires are at 67% as lap 30 starts. Because I went so long on the tires, Connor is going to get me out of the pits. Connor is one of the big names in this lead. He's the guy who spun from me in the lead. He's just going to get me, but I'm on the faster tire compound, but I still need heat of my tires. I'm not going to be able to get him out of the pits, which is very unlucky. He undercut me, definitely, because he basically got spun and had to pit, or he would have been screwed, because I think he got damage. As now Connor is out of our DRS, but it doesn't matter because we wouldn't have got DRS anyways. We're going to come through that fast section, and we're going to go into a lap later. Connor is flashing, but wait, there's a safety car. I hit him, but luckily the game didn't register me hitting him, so I basically survived ruining my race. If my race would have been ruined there, I would have been so mad. It's basically already been ruined by a bad strategy call. Think about this. I pit one lap later on lap 31. I get fresh off till the end. I come out in P4. That's a chance for a podium. But we will see here. Some people at the end of this lap are going to come into the pits. We're going to try and push our delta as close as we can this year. And Burgess, I'm like, why is he continuing? And then he just cuts into the pit lane, which was probably the right call as he was on old hards. And if you're on old hards at this point, you're struggling. We have two people, maybe three people ahead who continue on old hards. My teammate, Seb, Matt, and I don't know P2 right now. Yeah, safety cars in this lap. We're skipping on to lap of 33 as Aryton, who's on old hards, I think. We are the highest of the soft runners. We have a 3-second penalty, though, keep in mind. And this is one of the most controversial moments of this race. So I told my teammate restart, and I got one of the most insane restarts I've ever gotten in lead racing. But I'm gonna show you something on the inside there, but he closes the space, and he was lagging so hard he lagged back into me. If it looks like I completely wrecked him out on his screen, and it kind of does too on mine, but it was just the heat of the moment. I'd switched too late, I was lagging, but we went from P5 to P1 in one corner. Now we just have to make the biggest gap we can to the two drivers behind. My teammate now in P3, but so many penalties, he will probably still get the win. That incident, though, with Matt will probably be looked at. I think I gave him yellow wing damage, and that was definitely my fault, but lag had something to do with it, and I just went too late, which was super unlucky. I'm just pushing the limits of this track, trying to get as close as I can, or as far as away as I can from basically everyone behind. As I think here, or soon, all the little, all the chaos is gonna settle down. Sorry, it took me a second there. Drizzle now into the top 5, one of the rivals. But Connor, one of the big names, spins it. He would have been on for a podium after being last. But Drizzle now was also on for a podium as he's one of the fastest drivers. He's on the soft compound tires, which is amazing, but so am I. So I'm just pushing. I need to make 1.5 seconds to my teammate up here if I want a chance of winning. So 1.5 seconds, but that's not going to be hard because I'm on fresh softs. He's on probably 50%, 40%, 30% on mediums. So now I'm just pushing. The gap is 2 seconds now. I need to make a second up in the last 2 sectors. It's a purple sector 1. We might be able to steal the fast lap here as we're in clean air. We're up to 5th gear. We're pushing this throttle, trying to go with the limit. Use every piece of battery we have. We're going to try and push the whole entire thing. Yellow flag. I think that was Connor again who spun it. We're going to come almost to the last 2 corners of Sector 2. Yep, now at the end of Sector 2, it's going to be purple Sector 2. It is just going to be green. But we may still be on the fastest lap of the race because we are on the low wings. Now, Seb, the gap is 2.8 seconds, and it's gaining the last 2 corners. This is a really, really big battle between me and my teammate. It's 3 seconds coming across the line. I'm pushing the exit as hard as I can. Come across the line. It is P1 as we set the fastest lap of the race. It's a 1-2 for McLaren. That is one of the best races I have ever done, and I didn't really mean to steal it from my teammate. As you can see, I was freaking out, but I can't tell my mic, so, because I would have got copyrighted. But in the end, I got a 5-place grid penalty, or 5-second time penalty, and this was one of the worst spots to get a 5-place time penalty in, or 5-second time penalty in, because if you look at the standings, we're gonna watch the podium celebration here. As you can see, we're walking on the podium. It's going to be first, but after the race, it's not going to be first. My teammate does officially get the win. It's a 1-2 for McLaren, but with my 5-place grid penalty, I keep on saying 5-place grid. With my 5-second penalty, it puts me P5, which is just really bummed out, but it was still, I got my teammate the win with an amazing defense. It was a fun race, and yeah, it was one of my best races in ARL history. Still my best result. Best result before this was P6. I got a P5. Very unlucky. And yeah, as you can see, a 5-second gap to Drizzle. It's a 4.1. And yeah, thank you all for watching. It was a good race, and yeah, hope everyone has a good day. This is Defy. Bye.